Emotions. What are emotions? So emotions are a flurry of biochemical storm in the brain, or any agitation or disturbance of body, mind is an emotion only. It's a feeling, a strong feeling, a passion, or an excited, vehement mental state is emotion. A feeling is just a feeling, but when it becomes intense and also has a physiological reflection or evidence, then it is an emotion. Only then we say that, yeah, it is emotion. So that way, emotions are basically a biochemical storm in the brain, we can say. Now, are we a rational being with emotional component? Were we born with intellectual maturity and rational thinking, discretionary power, and later emotions came into your life? Or we were born with emotions with rational compound coming and occupying our being later? So when you answer, I would say basically we are all human beings with emotions. We were born with emotions. Children, what children? They're all emotional, absolutely emotional. Later, by tutoring, by thought process, TAUGHT, thought process, we are taught, the children are taught what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do. Conditions are imposed. And later, by education, this rational thinking comes to us. So that way, every human being is a rational being, emotional being with a rational component in it. That's why we become emotional when situations become intense. We are rational when we are relaxed. In busy activity, we become emotional. It's quite common. It's quite common. Presence of mind becomes absence of mind during agitation. Yeah. So that way, basically, all human beings are emotional, including me teaching emotional maturity. I'm only talking of emotional maturity. Am I really emotionally matured will be known only in emergency or exigency or contingency situation when I'm facing a challenge. At that point of time only, you can know or I can know that I'm emotionally matured. Talking is easy, like Valluvar says, சொல்லுதல் யாருக்கும் எளிய அறியவாம் சொல்லிய வண்ணம் செயல். It's easy to say, preach. Not so easy to practice what you preach, yeah, which you know. So our emotions rule our life. If you look back, your emotions have ruled your life so far. Your emotions are going to rule your life. So your emotional history is your history. Your emotional life is your life. When people ask you to reflect back upon your past, inescapably, invariably, all of us will look back to only significantly emotional event of our life. We would have lived hundreds of minutes and seconds so far. Whatever be your age, can be 30, it can be 40, it can be 50, 80, whatever be your age, when you look back your past, you will recall or look back to only significantly emotional events. SEE, significantly emotional, SEE. You will see only that C, significantly emotional event, which means that is what you record in your mind and that is what you say as your life. So emotions rule our life. Then the great question, EQ or IQ, which is greater? There's nothing like it. And life clearly says that intelligence helps us to understand life, no doubt. At the same time, emotions help us to lead life. So intelligence is a cognitive factor and it's a conscious mind, we can say. It helps us to understand right or wrong, discriminatory power, discretionary power, all those evaluations, judgments, they are required, a part of life, of course, no doubt. So intelligence is definitely required. Yeah. So that's why the term emotional intelligence came. But then the topic is entirely different. Emotional intelligence is entirely different. I'm not touching upon it today in this webinar. So intelligence helps us to understand life, whereas emotions rule our life. Because all the relationships we have around us, it's the emotional bonding that ties people together. Even though people born of the same parents, brothers and sisters, they are together if only there's an emotional bondage among them. It is not just the roof that binds people. Maybe a mansion or a hotel can accommodate people under the same roof. Like how we travel in public transport system, maybe by bus, maybe train. Maybe hundreds of people may be traveling in the train under the same roof, but there is no emotional bonding over there. So emotions, when there is emotional bonding, even there is no such thing as far away. Richard Bach says, there is no such place as far away. When your heart reaches out there, it is very near. So emotions help us to lead life, and without emotions, life will become drab and dull and monotonous. We are not robo. We are not robo. A robo can be like that, whereas human beings are emotional, and emotions certainly rule our life. And it is found, it just found the contribution of IQ for your success in life is only 20%. 80% is your emotional quotient. How balanced you are emotionally, how well are you able to manage your emotions and regulate emotions and thinking, based on that your success lies. A number of examples can be quoted, yet for the purpose of webinar I'm restricting myself, but one thing I can quote, Swami Vivekananda very clearly says, when there is a conflict between head and heart, follow your heart. When there is a conflict between head and heart, he says, follow your heart, because your emotions finally rule. However much intellectually you calculate, but if you do not fulfill your emotional needs, there will always be an unfinished business and you'll be lingering in same old thoughts. So follow your heart. Of course, Swamiji says from the context of having a clean mind, a clean heart, and following intuition. But nevertheless, in life also, however much we intellectually appreciate any job or a task or way, unless we pour our heart into it, it doesn't get into action. So that way, when there's a conflict between head and heart, follow your heart. So our whole personality is IQ plus EQ is our personality. Both are there. How well it happens.